So, I should do a time check there now. Okay, got 15 minutes before the walk, and I'm going straight over then to drop the girls. Okay, so there's another bit of pink in there too. Might as well, as I say, when I see it, I might as well do it. And again, subduing it with a little bit of the turquoisey colour. So there's a pink here. No, I didn't need to subdue it that much. I think I need more white in it actually to give it a bit more, because I'm painting it over black really. So while it's not colourful, it's a bit brighter than the black. So this is a better colour, I think. It gets a little bit brighter here where it meets the dark. And then there's another little bit that's extending from, I need to finish that one there. And then there's a bit in front of it. It's like a semicircle coming out. And kind of helps to explain the curve of this one in the foreground. Just subdue that light a bit more. It's only really the edge of it that's bright. Okay, that's okay. And I'm going to see how this reads if I was to put some thicker pink on there for this edge. And it's not really all that bright, but it's brighter than what's above and below it, so I think I get away with it. And the same bright is over here too. And down here. And maybe a touch here even. There's a bit here that's beautifully bright. Now I wonder if this will work. I think I get away with it a bit. I think it's okay. Don't want that disturbing it. Okay, I think it's okay. It's kind of the tongue, isn't it? Like how it curves back on itself. Yeah, down there. And then this one, of course, is going to have a bit of that too. It's really quite bright, this one, but I think it'll be okay to have a similar tone. Let's try it. I need more paint. And to make it really syrupy almost, so that it really captures that, you know, the luscious feel of them. Kind of sunbathing there. It's a little bit brighter here too. Okay. This one was going to change location a little bit, wasn't it? This petal coming out here. It's up from that stamen a bit, and its lightest bit is here, where it meets the other petal, and then kind of curves around all of that. Other petal's going to have some more here. And this one curves around to create a chasm there. That's that shape. It does something like that at the top. I don't have to define it all just now. I can come back, I think. That's on this. That's really dark. Maybe it's a good time to put in the very dark bit that's in there, if I can get away without touching the light bits. Just so that we're clear where one petal stops and the other one starts. And then the leaf behind is the third edge. And there's a nice clarity to the edge along here too, of course, where the flower is clearly in the light. There's a lovely dark behind it. Just putting a bit of water in because it's important to me that the edge isn't hairy, because I think that's one of the things that's significant about lilies is how clean an edge they have. I'm debating whether to stop and have something to eat before going for the walk, because when I come back from the walk I'll be going straight to drive the girls. But I actually probably won't end up savouring it very much, because I only have 10 minutes before the walk now, and I bought some nice food for myself. Do you know what I bought? It was pear and Stilton, or some kind of blue cheese. Love that together. I wanted to get walnuts, but I was in too much of a rush in the end, and I thought I couldn't find where the walnuts were in the shop, because I like them too for Waldorf salad. It's one of the things I really go through phases of absolutely loving Waldorf salad, which what I call Waldorf salad is walnuts and apples and celery and sometimes grapes or raisins. And I don't bother putting any yogurt or any kind of thing into it. I used to before, but now I find that I like it just as it is. I'm kind of getting hungry talking about it. Anyway, I don't have walnuts. I could buy them on the way back from town though, couldn't I? If there's anywhere open. I think most of the supermarkets are closing at 6. Or stupid markets, as my friend calls them. I suppose they're not so stupid when we need them. Okay. Do you know, this morning I woke up, I had plans to do this in the morning. So I set up my paints last night and wrote in my diary what I would do. I would get up, do my yoga meditation paint. And then this morning when I woke up, the sunlight was streaming through the curtains. And I thought, I'm not even going to look at the time now. I had a pull to go into the wild over to the lad house, and it feels wild to me. It's always had that kind of sense of of wilderness kind of Gladhouse. People who know it might laugh now because it's not far away from civilization at all. But it feels a bit Grizzly Adams kind of to me. It's just lovely, and I never meet people there. It's fantastic, you know. So I went over, and didn't I go in for a quick dip in the water? And the sun was splitting the water. It was so lovely. So that's what I did instead of my painting this morning. I kind of made my peace with that. It sometimes happens to me when I feel the pull to go to Gladhouse. I usually follow up on that unless there's something urgently needs attention at home. So that comes before this event, because I know that whatever happens, if I feel I want to do that, if I want to go for the swim, I never regret it after, and I always have end up having a more kind of magnificent day for it too. Like, everything else seems to fall into place a little bit easier on those mornings that I've had my swim. Or my perspective is different on the world, because you can't help but notice the beauty of it, like when you're inside in it. And it's not even a job to notice, like you don't even have to try and pay attention, you're already in it. And it is very beautiful there, I find. Especially on a day like today when the water is like glass and everything looks very clear and crisp and beautiful. I took some photographs with my broken phone, but still I got some nice pictures. The lens is smashed in it. But what I like to do is take a photograph after I throw some stones in the water, because it's so crystal clear and flat that when there's one splash, it's really lovely. I love to see in a photograph to capture the splash with everything else so calm. I haven't really taken stock here to know how am I doing. I'm just motoring on, chattering away, belly rumbling occasionally. I'm not sure about all the dark. It's possible to retrieve the light there anyway if I want to go back to the colour of the board or make something like it. It is really dark there still. I don't know, am I doing the right thing? I just like what's happening with the dark background and this little thing, because this is really quite bright. Sticking up there, make it brighter, but I'm going to do the dark background first. So that I can really show off that bright bit. And now where's the tabletop? Here on this side. Oh, I've got pink in this one. See if there's anywhere else I need to put the pink. Light pink bits. I think there's a light pink edge to this here. And there's a light pink edge to this one too. And there's a little bit of pink here and down here to capture the curling edge. And that there is more colourful really. Don't know if this is exactly it, but it'll be okay. I suppose I'll go back to the white and I'll go back to the white and explain the tablecloth a bit. Where it meets the flower and the dark on this side. And I was thinking of doing in here as well, there's a space where the tablecloth explains the edge of the petal that sits behind this big one in the foreground. So it's kind of the space between the two of them, which I think looks like this. And then the back of that one, which looks like this, I think. I can't remember which was the bit I was going to leave alone because I liked how it was wiped away. I'm hoping it's not this bit that I'm just colouring in. It's an awful term, isn't it? Colouring in. Well, I suppose it's the connotations it has rather than the term itself. You can't hear a thing, no. It's probably really irritating, sorry. My voice is getting lower and lower. I think I'll just give it a bit of a swirl around the indication. And then I could do with making that green for that leaf there. It's not unlike sap green on its own with the white, but I think it does need a bit of a hint of yellow or red or something in it to subdue it a bit more. I'll try the cadmium red because I'm a bit lazy about getting more yellow out. I haven't got yellow on my palette yet. So there's some white left in my brush as well, which is kind of handy because I want to lighten it up a bit. This colour. It's lightish, but it's also got the a reddish hint to it. And there's a bit of something similar happening in here. A kind of greenish, muted green shade in there. And there's a bit of green too in the back of that. I'm just got to resolve this edge a little bit here. And then the next thing I want to do is to use my turquoise again. to paint the edge of the petal down to meet. I think there's something there that'll explain the edge of the pink one, which doesn't come over as far as I thought it did originally. So that'll have some white in it there. I think my friend might be outside because I think it's nearly 6. Okay, so I'll just sign off, get my wellies on, and that's what happened there. Let's see what to do next. I'm not sure. Thanks for joining me. Bye.